It's time now for Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. Catch up with everything that's going on at Anderson Speedway with Rick Dawson and Gary Mong.
Good evening. Welcome to Track Talk. Rick Dawson, Gary Mong. We're in the Mounds Mall Special Events Studio.
We are.
In a soggy.
It is today.
And going to get worse, they say.
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
We are joined in the studio this evening by our good friend Jim Mougette.
Hello, gentlemen.
Great Deal Savings Magazine. Everyone doing okay this evening?
Yep, doing fine. Great.
I'm doing better. Thank you for asking.
How are you?
You've been under the weather here for you started last Tuesday, I think, on the show, and went all week long.
Tuesday evening, and then it hit me Wednesday. Actually, it hit me Wednesday afternoon, and it's been that way all.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see much racing Saturday night, but you did, and I'm sure you'll tell us all about it.
I will.
We got several things to talk about, some things coming up, and maybe a little insight on the next season, and we'll talk a little bit about the Cup race and NASCAR. And some other racing that transpired over the weekend.
That's right.
So don't let me forget all that.
I won't.
Because I didn't write it down.
What did you say? No.
We had our, we won't say the final event of the season at the Speedway, but probably the final regular type
Probably
event
the regular season, yeah.
of the season. Last Saturday night we had our triple 75s. A lot of ghosts and goblins at the Speedway Saturday night. Big crowd for the trunk or treat. I don't know if you were out there or not, but there was tons and tons of kids and lots of candy.
I was helping getting the track prepared for Saturday night.
That's right.
We got a little bit behind due to the weather, so I was out there helped drying the track while everybody else was trick or treating, and that's fine.
Boy, it took forever to dry that track, didn't it?
Yeah, there wasn't any heat in it.
Yeah.
Problem. I should have just left well enough alone and advertised an 8 o'clock start time. No, I thought because it's late in the year, it's going to be cold. We'll get it done before the sun gets down too far into the night. And wouldn't you know, what time did we start?
About quarter after 8.
8 o'clock, and the weather was nice and comfortable.
It wasn't that bad, yeah.
So we could have went ahead and advertised, but we had a good crowd. We had a good car count.
We did.
Except for our late models, and I'm not real sure what happened there. I think everybody's just tired. A lot of teams are short on funds right now since the season's over. But we did have 6 cars show up for the Thompson Builders 75 with our McGonigal engine late models.
And those did put on a good show.
The 6 cars we had did put on a good show, from what I'm told. You're going to have to tell me all about it. I know Jack Dawsey, the third, set fast time and won the race, but I understand it was not a gimme.
It wasn't a gimme. He didn't. It started off with Danny Trent leading the race, and would you stop it? And Jack Dawsey, the third, right on his tail. Great battle between those two for the longest time, and I like how Jack drives that track. There, he'll try to find the outside, he'll try to find the inside, but he doesn't do anything as far as trying to take the driver ahead of him, out of competition. And he found the hole. He made it happen, and when he did that, Greg Van Alst followed right behind him, and that moved Danny Trent from first clear back to third, and then the battle was on between Jack Dawsey the third and Greg Van Alst. And between the two, it was Jack Dawsey the third that came out victorious. But it was 75 laps of green flag racing straight through.
And which is good. We didn't tear anything up. And we had a couple of drivers that haven't raced with us in a while. Greg Van Alst raced with us with CRA a couple of times, but he hadn't raced with us regularly. Hopefully we're going to get him back full-time next season in the McGonigal engine late models. And Josh Timberman hadn't been there for a while.
He used to run, was it trucks with us?
He used to run trucks with us. He's brought his late model a couple of times, but hadn't brought it this season. It was great to see him here. He must have had some troubles late in the race.
He did.
It looks like, and only
something happened to the car.
52 laps, but it was good to see Josh in. But Jack Dawsey the third, Greg Van Alst, Danny Trent, Jeff Markham, Josh Timmerman, and
Kent Carson.
was back from Richmond. So it was good to see them there. I was looking at the street stocks.
Oh.
We did have a good.
We had a good field of street stocks.
Street stocks.
Had a couple of gentlemen over from, was it DeGraff, Ohio?
Yep, Shady Bowl.
Yeah, from Shady Bowl
Shady Bowl.
Speedway.
Yeah.
It's good to have them over. I think they had a good time. Good folks to talk
Did.
to. Calvin Parham, the 2014 street stock champion, set fast time. We had 14 cars.
We did.
There.
Like you said, man, I just went brain dead here all of a sudden.
I said
Calvin Parham. He did the draw. The draw was the top four was inverted, so he had to start in the fourth position. I believe that put Josh Poor, I'm trying to think who was on the outside of him on that start of that race. I can't remember right offhand.
Well,
but anyway,
computer's a little slow.
Yeah,
I can tell you. Jake
anyway,
Owens, maybe, or Josh State, or Jake Owens was.
I believe it was Jake. Yeah, I believe you're right. I believe it was Jake Owens, and
either him or Brandon Mefford.
But Josh Poor, Josh is very tough to beat at Anderson Speedway, being our champion for the street stocks, and he proved it by. I didn't want to say he dominated that race, but it was a good race. Would you stop that? It was a good race, though, but Josh Poor came out victorious on that one.
You know, you get Josh Poor out in front, he is just really hard to pass.
You watch him, he can use the outside line,
Yeah.
he can use the inside line, he's very good.
But he doesn't block the track when
No.
he does it.
No, he's just hard to pass. He's a good driver.
He's just fast, and he'll usually, once he gets out into the lead, he'll use the inside. But it's tough to pass him. It can be done, but it's tough to pass him
Right.
because he's just usually in good equipment, and he knows the track. He drives smooth. He doesn't panic. And
That's right.
Does
And
good.
if
But
they-
Calvin Parham put on a good fight.
He did.
Finished second. Brandon Mefford, our good buddy from Knightstown, finished third. Josh Sage, one of the cars from Piqua, Ohio, from over at Shady Bowl, finished fourth. And Buck Pertree, he must be. Sandy doesn't have his hometown, but he must.
If you
be
go
one-
down, there was another Pertree down there. I think it said DeGraff, Ohio, but he
That would
was
be
driving
Shady
the
Bowl.
Ford Falcon, which was
Kinda
kind of
retro.
yes, it was really cool to see that out there.
Yeah, Rex
Came in-
Pertree was in the other one. But we had 14 street stocks, which was great to
turnout.
see. We also had a great contingent for our Markham Welding Pro Compact 75 lapper.
I believe we had 18 of those. A great turnout of those.
Gary Eaton doesn't have his hometown here, but he's from Ohio also. I know I talked to Gary when he came in. What set the fast time, and again, fill us in on this race, Mr.
That was another
Mr.
one of those
Flagman.
that wasn't a gimme. Gary Eaton was not given that race. He had to work for that one. I believe he started back in the pack and worked his way up through the.
It was a half invert, if I'm not
Yeah, I
mistaken.
think it was something like F6 or 8, something like. I can't remember what the inversion was on that, but it was good side by side racing. Great competition between the guys that came from Ohio and our owned pro compact drivers. But Gary Eaton came out victorious on that one.
Gary Eaton, Ron Masters, Terry Eaton Jr., Dylan Hoppus, and Jared Keller, who was there celebrating his 24th birthday. But I seen the last 10 laps of the race, and the 24 car was on the point
Dylan Hoppus, he
for
drove a
long,
great, yes,
big part of that race.
he drove a great race. And I don't know if the car just started getting away from him or what, but Gary was able to get underneath him. But Dylan drove a really good race.
Finished in fourth. I didn't even see Dylan come in. I seen his dad Randy come in, and I just assumed it was Randy in the car. And then when I go up to watch the end of the race up by the pit bleachers, there stands Randy. So, good race there towards the end. I did see that, and then it was a good race. Everybody had a great time. We had fun with the Halloween with the kids.
Yes.
Our good friends at
Our trunk and treat.
Maplewood Cemetery, and everybody that helped put on the night, and Thompson Builders. Jimmy Thompson made it possible for us to do that with the late models, and we really appreciate all their support.
Yes.
So,
And I think maybe this might be appropriate time, Rick, to kind of thank our Anderson Speedway family for this year as well, too, for everything they've done, from our office people to our pit gals back here at the pits, all the way to our track crew,
Talking
safety
about
crew,
Phyllis.
record crew. Well, there's Rebecca, there's Nicole, there's Phyllis. Yes, I mean, it's everybody. It's a group effort. And I think everybody did a wonderful job this year.
Did you see who
Beer
was?
stand.
What'd he say? What'd you say?
Turn two
beer stand.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Did you see who was sitting on the gate up by the office Saturday night?
Yes, it was good to see him again.
Fast
Freddie Jones.
Freddie Jones is back looking really
He
good.
sure is.
He's lost a lot of weight.
He did it with the help of it's one of those diets now. It just went away from me, Gary, just like yours.
Weight Watchers or Atkins or
No, it is the
Nutrisystem.
Nutrisystem. That's it.
He's done a great job
Yes.
and is looking better every time I see him. His attitude is great.
It is.
He said he's going in this weekend or today, sometime this week, to have some tests done. So his wife's going to give him a little more food, which he wants. But he's just looking great. And I knew if anybody do it, Freddie's stubborn, and once he sets his mind to something, he makes it happen.
we're all proud of him.
I think he said he's done it in six months.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job.
Yes,
and
he
I
is.
told him that seat there at that gate is his whenever he's ready to come back permanently.
It was good to hear that bark again at the
Yeah.
gate.
You know, I was standing there talking to him.
You don't
and
get
as
by
I'm-
Fred.
As I'm talking to him, two guys walked by. He says, "Where's your armband?" I just walked away. I said, "Fred's back."
You don't get by Fred unless you got an armband.
That's
on.
right.
These I'm not sure if they're street stocks or what they are, super stocks or whatever. The Halloween 200 and annual big race down at Salem
I
took
think
place
they're
on
street
Sunday.
stocks, yeah.
They had good weather for it again. I understand they had a huge crowd.
Good.
50 cars started the race, which is good in these times. I can remember not too long ago, they'd start upwards of 100 cars in that race,
Right.
which made it exciting. But they started them 3 wide on the half-mile high banks of Salem. I understand it was kind of a crash fest this year. There wasn't a lot of green flag
Ooh.
laps, but a guy by the name of Blake Hilliard, who I talked to Glenn Luckett with CRA, and says this gentleman has raced a couple of times with CRA, but mainly races down in Kentucky. He's from Owensboro, Kentucky, but he won the race this year.
Cool.
And Frank Kimmel II, which is Frank Kimmel Sr., that's the many-time champion
ARCA.
of the ARCA Series, finished second. Sean Smith was third. Artie Ware was fourth, and Jeff Berg was fifth. The best finishing Anderson driver, and I consider this guy one of our own, is Phil Jenkins.
Yes.
He finished in 12th place, and he had a good car down at Raceway Park
sure
that he
did.
was shaking down for this race. And Colby Lane, who is the Lucas Oil Raceway's champion this
the
year
street
in the
stocks,
street
yes.
stocks, finished 13th right behind him in the 200-lap event. Chuck Barnes, who's a perennial winner down there, I guess had an issue between him and Brett Hudson and Brian Hopkins on lap 169, which took him out of contention. But Fred Hopkins finished 27th. See if I can find a couple more names here. Trent Gosser in his 71 car finished 31st, showing his versatility again
Yes.
in another type of car. And Johnny McGee, who a lot of folks know from around here, was at our track for the Thunder Car race, finished in 47th. So
Do you know if that was Chuck Barnes Sr. or Jr.?
I'm pretty sure that was senior in that race. I think that's the only race that he races. But I don't know. When you talk to Glenn, he talks about Chuck, and I don't know if he's talking about Chuck or Chuck E.
I don't think Chuck E's running much either right now.
No, Chuck E's helping crew chief some cars, I think. Went to Nashville, and Glenn told me who it was, but I can't remember who he was helping down there. But
Junior.
they won the last chance race at
Junior's
the
a good driver.
All-American 400.
Yes, he is.
So
So's his dad.
yeah. Well, that pretty much recaps the weekend as far as local racing. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some things coming up and some interesting topics for your perusal. How's that word?
Perusal?
That's not the right word. It's just one that came to my head.
And won't you just go ahead and tell me what the song's going to be leading in back
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
You don't know.
So it's
Okay.
going to be a surprise to everybody. You're
Okay.
listening to Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. We'll be right back.
Stroke, serious injury. A sudden health crisis can happen to anyone at any time. So when bad things happen, choose good people. St. Vincent Anderson Regional Hospital has the area's most advanced emergency care, with a state-designated Level 3 trauma center, an internationally accredited chest pain center for heart attack patients, and advanced certification for primary stroke care. We have all the resources to deliver the care you need for any serious or life-threatening emergency. St. Vincent Anderson Regional is the only emergency department in the area with an on-site helicopter. And our $27 million state-of-the-art surgery pavilion opens later this year. Bad things can happen to anyone. Thankfully, good people are ready to help. Choose emergency care from St. Vincent Anderson Regional, the spirit of caring. Visit stvincent.org/Anderson Regional to learn more.
Honey, stop! Oh my gosh, that's Diggity's back there.
You mean the new Diggity's Frozen Treat Factory?
I heard it's unbelievable. Everybody's talking about it. They have everything yummy.
Yeah, I heard they have ice cream, yogurt, custard, sorbet.
And gelato, plus fruit smoothies, and that's just the beginning.
I heard Diggity's has over 250 toppings, not 30 or 40 like those other places, and you can even get the candy to go separately.
We can eat outside on their huge patio by the fire, too.
Okay, let's see. Frozen yogurt, ice cream, custard, sorbet, and gelato with 250 toppings? Or a plain old frozen yogurt shop with limited toppings?
Diggity's it is!
Diggity's wants to cater your event. Diggity's can set up at your event inside or out and provide delicious smoothies, frozen cappuccinos, candies, and frozen treats to your guests. Diggity's is perfect for weddings, company picnics, group outings, sporting events, festivals, you name it, just call Diggity's. 765-393-0033 today for more information.
MoFab Incorporated, where imagination is the only limitation. We serve residential, commercial, industrial, and municipal customers as your metals warehouse and fabrication center. We do all types of fabrication using the latest technology with unmatched speed, accuracy, and durability on any substrate. Our ornamental division handles all types of interior and exterior work, including rails, fences, gates, and more. So contact us at mofabbing.com to fabricate your dreams of tomorrow today.
You won't believe these deals? They're too good to be true. You cannot miss this special. We're going to give you so much off, you won't believe it. Actual mileage may vary. Price does not include tax, title, and license. Some assembly required. Batteries not included. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. Keep in a cool place. It is highly unlikely that any sentiments expressed above in any way coincide with those of it.
Wait, what'd they just say? At Auto Farm McCrocklin Ford in Middletown, we're not here to give you fast-talking deals. We take the time to make sure you understand what you're buying to make sure it meets your budget. If you're at Auto Farm McCrocklin Ford in Middletown, you're at the right place.
This program is a presentation by Anderson Speedway. The content contained in this program is that of the host and guests, and not this station.
Yeah.
Bay City Rollers, isn't it?
Gene Simmons, how'd I do? I bought that album Kiss Live when it very first day it came out.
Oh, I really got to come back, but I can't say it on the radio. So we'll just leave it at that.
And I seen them in concert on their first tour. What are you doing?
Just move along.
Okay, moving along.
Moving along.
Well, we got a good friend in the studio this afternoon, and it would be nice to hear his insight on the season and tell us a little bit about what his company does. We talk about it a lot on here, Great Deal Savings Magazine, but a lot of folks may not know exactly, especially ones that live in a cave, know exactly what Great Deal Savings Magazine is and how big it is.
Well, my insight on the season at Anderson is, do you want Coors Light or do you want a Bud Light?
Yeah, coming from the Turn 2 beer stand perspective.
And I've enjoyed it up there. I have really enjoyed it. As long as I'm in Turn 2 and don't get stuck in Turn 4, I'm okay. Because Turn 2, you can see the racetrack, and in between selling beers to our wonderful fans, you can watch the race. You get stuck up there in Turn 4.
And you talk to people as far as where they come from.
Oh, I love it. I just really like to find out where they come from, and it's amazing. We get people from all over that have come in, and you'd think that, the bulk of the people come from Anderson. A lot of people do come from Anderson, but you get people from last week, Richmond, somebody was up there from, Fort Wayne, and one other place, Winchester. So I mean, they're coming from all over, which is really pretty interesting. And I get to know those people, and they get to become friends as much as customers, even though I don't know their names. It's just fun to have some fun with them when they come up there. So I think the season went very, very well. I'd like to congratulate everybody. I think that and the late model division, with the exception of Saturday where we only had 6 cars,
it's been great.
That is a solid division right now. I got that thing taken care of. It's solid. You've got quite a few cars in that McGonigal engine late model series, and I think it's going back really to where Anderson Speedway has been. It's always been a late model track. And I think that it's just great that we've got the amount of cars that we have.
And new ones already sold. I talked to Tim Neal the other night. 2 cars I know went out of his and his dad's stables this past week or 2 for next year.
Good deal.
So, and talked to several other of the drivers that have cars or are getting cars, or know guys that are getting cars that are going to race with us next year. Looks like a good, solid field for 2016.
And you talked about Great Deals?
Yes, let's talk about Great Deals Savings Magazine.
Yeah, there's a lot going on at Great Deals. I was in a meeting today, and we're expanding and looking to expand. And one of the things that we have done for years, and a lot of people don't know it, is we have basically, for the lack of a better word, franchised Great Deals. And we're going to expand that franchise opportunity. So if there's anybody listening to us that wants to do a Great Deals magazine in some city, give me a call and we'll see what we can do. But that's going to happen over the next. It's not something that happens overnight. It's going to take probably 5 or 6 months to get everything put together. You got to dot your I's, you got to cross your T's. Whether we do it as a traditional franchise or whether we do it as what I like to call a business opportunity, the business opportunity is a little different. There are an awful lot of laws that control franchisors, which we would be, that you have to have, and that protects the public and the franchisee from companies coming in and ripping the general public off. And it's good, but you got to put that all together. So that's something that we're looking to do. We do 34 magazines right now.
What is a Great Deals Savings Magazine?
It is a how do I explain this? You know, through the years it has evolved. If you ask most people about that, they're going to say, well, it's a coupon magazine. Sort of. It is, but it isn't. Our strength is simply on our circulation in each one of these markets. Our model is when you do, let's just use Anderson as an example. We do 39,000 homes that we direct mail through the U.S. postal system in Anderson and Madison County. There's not another media that even comes close to reaching that many homes. That's about 85 to 90% of the total homes. And we've been doing it for 21 years. Sometimes people say, oh, yeah, just throw the thing away. We don't see that. I call that a pitch factor. Our pitch factor is just practically non-existent anymore after 21 years. Back when we first started this in 95, I agree. Some of them did get thrown away. But eventually, the end reader got tired of seeing his magazine come every couple of months back in those days. So he opened it up, and lo and behold, what did he find? He found a Pizza King. He found Pizza Hut. He found Jiffy Lube. He found all these great advertisers that he normally uses that with a coupon that's in there, it can save money. Now, what I started to say is it is kind of a coupon magazine, but it's not. The fellow like a Window World or something like that does not coupon has the opportunity of using Great Deal Savings Magazine simply because of that huge circulation, and those coupons drive more people back into that magazine time and time again, which gives you frequency.
I'm at home and I'm looking at my house and I need new windows. I have no clue who to call. I look in Great Deals Magazine and there's Window World.
Yes.
Who else? I mean, I don't know anybody else to call, so there they are.
We had the same, and Gary was involved in this conversation today. We had the same conversation with a construction company that we have. And you're right. What Window World has done is they rise to the top, what I call top of the mind awareness. All of a sudden, your wife has complained enough about the draft coming in, and you give in, I'm going to get some new windows. And what do you think of first? You've seen it over and over and over again.
Window
you think
World.
of Window World, and you call them.
Yes.
You don't think of Fred's Windows over in the corner because he hadn't done any.
And you got a lot of contractors. You need your car worked on, and you don't have a regular mechanic. So you call Wade at Dave's.
Yeah.
Or, because you've seen it in Great Deal Savings Magazine. It's just, and on top of, being able to actually find the product you're needing, most of your advertisers also offer value-added discounts.
Yep.
You've got a great one in there, I think, in this month's for Bloomers, which is formerly the Edgewood Country Club.
Yes.
I think you can buy one meal, get another one for free.
You can, yes. And I just talked to Kyle today. I said, Kyle, how's it going? He says, great. We had 3 great nights last week. We're getting a lot of these coupons back in, and that's what it's all about. But it's all about the offer. We used to say, buy a Mercedes and get a cup of coffee. You're not.
That's an expensive cup of coffee.
Well, how about buy a cup of coffee and get a Mercedes?
That's a better deal.
Great, yeah.
Yes.
Well, which one's going to work better?
That's a great deal.
It's a great deal. It's all about the offer that people put in the magazine.
And a good example, which we're both involved in, is the Shrine Club on Friday nights. The crowds were a little down on price, so we put a coupon in. I think we actually started out on a Friday night when it's open to the public. We alternate between codfish dinners and pork chop and chicken dinners. We did a buy one get one free and immediately doubled the traffic on Friday nights at the club. Now, we're doing another coupon now, and by the way, this Friday night I believe it's pork chops. It's the fifth. It's the fifth Friday. Roasted pork chops.
Delicious.
They are delicious. Public's invited, Shrine Club. It's just, we can almost see it from here. It's right up off of Hillcrest Drive on the other side of the river. Public's invited from 5 to 7, $9. 2 big pork chops. You won't be able to eat them all, and all the fixings and your drink for only $9. It's a great value.
Yes.
One of the things that I saw last week, because I was checking everybody in at the Shrine Club, 2 people, this is the first time I've really seen it, 2 people came up because you can go to our website and you can get coupons off of our website. 2 people came up and said, I saw this on the website, and here it is on my phone or whatever. So that is, again, the mobile stuff is starting to come in and get involved, but people are starting to use it.
We've used it at the Speedway for a couple of years now, and it's a very great marketing tool. It's a great information tool also to get information to the fans, which, by the way, any information you need about Anderson Speedway, you can go to our website at andersonspeedway.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Amy and Jared keeps Facebook information out there, and of course, we're not racing now for another month, but we have great offers for our friends and fans, and also follow us on Twitter. I see in the green room, getting ready to follow us up, is a good friend of ours, Bob Bloom, and he's with Man for Man Ministries, and I don't know if it's by accident, but there's a flyer laying here in front of me, and it looks like Monday through Saturday, Man for Man Ministries has backyard bargains at 912 East 53rd Street. In Anderson, over on the south side, so be sure, from 10:30 to 4, so be sure and support a great organization, Man for Man Ministries. We've used up our whole half hour.
Yes.
So we'll be back here next week. We're going to have some special guests either calling in or in the studio. We have racing coming up the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so put us on the calendar. Hello to Aunt Jenny.
Hi, Aunt Jenny.
And all of our friends, and we will be back here same time, same station, on Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. For Jim Mougette and Gary Mong, I'm Rick Dawson. Have a great week, and we'll see you at the track.